There's no such thing as 2-minute healing, no 3-day Kundalini awakening, no instant manifestation, no overnight rewiring of your entire life. And I say this with full clarity because I've been working as a spiritual healer for over 35 years. And I need you to understand something very important today. If you want your suffering to end, and if you want your reality to actually change, you need to stop looking for shortcuts and instant results. Do it because you love and value who you are, and you want to be the best version of yourself. Now, in this video, I will share the deeper truths about real spiritual transformation based on over 35 years of healing experience. We are living in a time where spirituality has become a trend and packaged into quick fixes for easy sales. Fast hacks, promise of instant results, shortcut transformation. But real transformation does not work that way, because what you are dealing with is not surface level problems. You are dealing with energetic imprints, karmic cycles, subconscious patterns, emotional conditioning, deeply embedded identity structures, and likely ancestral karma. These cannot be erased in minutes. They require deep awareness, they require deep understanding, and they require deep energetic and disciplined inner work. The reason these 2-minute hacks are so appealing is simple. They promise relief without responsibility. But here is the truth. If a pattern has been created over years, sometimes generations, or even lifetimes of conditioning, it cannot be dissolved through some surface level techniques. You may feel a temporary shift, a momentary relief, an emotional high, but the underlying structure remains intact and the cycle will definitely repeat. This is why so many people end up saying, I've done the healing work, but nothing is changing, because they are addressing only the symptoms and not the root system. Now, why are you still blocked? If your life is not shifting, there are only a few real reasons. First, you have not correctly understood the pattern you're in. Second, you have not identified your specific karmic lesson, the core emotional and energetic themes your consciousness is wanting you to work through. And third, that you have not completed the internal integration that is required to shift identity. Because healing is not just about release, it is also integration. And without integration, awareness alone does not create transformation. Now, let me give you the real structure of transformation. This is not theory. This is what actually creates change. And it's almost impossible to do it without a good healer and teacher. You must become aware of the patterns, not just the surface behavior, but the emotional repetition that is underneath it. What keeps showing up in your relationships, your money, your self-worth, your emotional reactions. So awareness is the entry point, because without clarity, nothing can shift. Now, step 2. Every soul carries a learning theme. Without clarity, nothing shifts. Every soul carries specific learning themes. For example, self-worth and boundaries, abandonment and attachment, power and control, expression and suppression, receiving and worthiness. Until you understand your core lessons, you will repeat the same experiences in different forms. Why? Because consciousness repeats until it is understood and a new behavior is adopted. Most people never get this deep. Integration means changing your responses, changing your emotional patterns, changing your energetic reactions and choosing differently even when it feels uncomfortable. This is where real healing becomes embodied, not intellectual, not conceptual, but lived. So I want to be very clear with you. If you are serious about changing your life, then stop looking for shortcuts or even hundreds of new shiny rituals and tricks that you're chasing every day. There is no bypassing your inner work, but there is a path. When you walk it with awareness, consistency, and truth, your suffering will begin to dissolve at the root. Your identity begins to shift, and your life begins to align with something deeper. Not because you hacked it, but because you healed it, and properly. And that is the only transformation that actually lasts.